Thank you, buddy. I am strong. Yeah, no. It's hard. I won't lie. Um, it's a lot, to be honest. It's a lot mentally and psychology. English. English. But I'm all good. I'm all good, buddy. Yeah. Just keeping together through it all, to be honest. I'm trying not to lose my mind in the whole process. I'm trying just to be okay, you know. Mom and I are traumatized. We are we are going through a lot, to be honest. But we take it one day at a time. The shaking happens time and time and again. Like now. But we just keep moving, to be honest. We just keep moving. It is what it is, man. I'm alive. That's what matters. Honestly, that's what matters. I'm alive. If I was dead, no one would really know my story. Like, truth be told, if I was dead, no one would know my story. So, since I'm alive, I might as well talk about it and let people know. Guys, please share to people if you can. I don't know. Please share. Because I'm live on Insta and on Facebook. I'm really trying my best, guys, just to be really strong and be together. Just try and be together. I break down majority of the time. Yeah. Let me just give it 5 minutes and then I'm with you guys. Then I'll start telling my story. The whole aim of me doing all of this, guys, to be honest, it's about making noise, because it's as if South Africa doesn't care when people survive things, to be honest, and that ticks me off. I'm so angry. I'm very angry at our community. I'm very angry at how if someone doesn't die, no one does anything, to be honest. And it's quite irritating. It's quite frustrating. It's quite frustrating. It's quite irritating. Our system fails us consistently. So you really ask yourself, why am I alive if no one is going to do anything about it? But yeah, it really is what it is. Yeah, I think that's about it, guys. You can share with people if you want to share and stuff. Let me just start telling my story. Yeah. Thank you for joining, guys. I really appreciate it. So what happened on Monday is that obviously I woke up and everything. I had a friend. You know, this is one thing that I always tell people who are spiritually sensitive, be it your pastors, your sangomas, whatsoever. You're a spiritual person, because you're communicating through the spiritual side of life and not the physical majority of the time. So one of my friends called me and she was like, I had, when I woke up, I thought about you. She didn't understand why. And I said, did you pray for me? And she said, not yet. And I said, then do that immediately. And just an hour later, I was going out to the mountain to go pray, like I usually do time and time and again. not all the time. And this time around, I asked my mom to come with me. I said, Mama, please come with me. And we went to the mountain and we prayed for like a good, when I'm alone, I spend like a good 3 hours just praying. So we spent like a good hour praying. And as we went down, so this place is around Loli, to be specific, around Loli. They told me the name, I forgot, but it's called something Hills, that area. So we were there, and this is a place where healers from Soweto would come through and pray there. This is a place where people from different areas would come and pray there. So we were there, we were praying, we're going back to the car now. And as we're walking, I see these 3 guys. And judging them by looking at them, I would say these guys are approximately, between the ages of 21 and 35. They're there in that age group. But before I saw those guys, I saw a group of young boys who were around 9 to 16 walking with dogs. And there was something in me that said, there's danger. When I saw those boys and they were walking with these dogs, and I could see that they're communicating with someone, but it didn't click to me yet that, hey, Lindo, danger. And as I was walking, and that happened, my mom and I are now done praying. Now we're walking to the car, and we get to the car, and these 3 guys are coming through. This one pulls out his bag, takes out a gun, and points it at me. And he says, give me the car keys. And automatically I fight. I'm like, no, I don't want to. I'm like, nah, I don't want to. What the fuck do you want to do? And then the other 2 were attacking my mom. And eventually he got a hold of I remember he strangled me. He held me just like this, and he strangled me. And I can't really remember if I was screaming or not, but all I can say is that I was doing something though. And he choked me like this, and he held me, and for some reason I wasn't even losing my breath. I still had energy to still push that voice to come out. And I remember him saying, you're making too much noise, and he held me right here, and he tried to like choke me to stop breathing or something like that. But that was happening. And I said, why do you want my car? Why do you want my car keys? And he said, this is Josie. And I said, I don't give a fuck if this is fucking Josie, dog. And he eventually got a hold of my car keys. He opened my car. He took me around from driver's seat to passenger seat, back seat. And he threw me in there. And he kept on punching me. And every word he said, he just kept on punching me. And he's like, yeah, you think you're clever. You think you're clever. All you had to do was give me the car keys. And he's just punching me and throwing the fists. Hence you can see my face, And I only counted 3, but now I can say there's more than just 3 punches that went straight into my face. And immediately after that, I remember I gave up at some stage, and I was just like, kill me, because that's what you want to do, just kill me. And he said, no, I don't want to kill you. I don't want to kill you. I want you in the car. And I said, you want me in the car? Obviously, the first thing that's going to pop out of my mind is that this guy wants to rape me or something like that. And he threw me in the car. Eventually, I saw my mom also coming in with these 2 guys. Now there's one guy this side, myself and my mom, and the other guy took out knives. There's knives behind me, and there's a knife behind me and behind my mom. And the one who punched me is now driving. Cool. Starts the car, drives off from the mountain, gets on the road. My mom and I are obviously trying to give signals. Hey guys, we're in danger. And remember, these are people who pray also, not giving any response. We showing hands, and my mom starts singing gospel music. And I'm like, okay, then I started joining my mom in that mist, because that's when now I realized that, you know what, I don't have power here. No one really has power, and the only person who has power here is God. So God has to do something, and we're driving, we're passing people, and we get on the main road, and they put us in we drove into like what's it called, I forgot what it's called, but like where there's just no one and we got in there, and we just drove by, and I remember there were 5 guys digging. They had the whole equipment. They digging like a straight line. And my mom and I asked, why are these guys digging a straight line? What's happening? And they said no. And obviously we tried to get help from them because they had weapons. And they said no, they're working with us. So already we were 3 guys in the car. There's 5 guys who are creating a hole that where we and there's rocks around them, and meaning they're gonna put rocks there to stop any mobile cars traveling on that road. And we drove, and this guy decided that no, he's gonna get into like an empty field. Now in an empty field, we drive there, and then he stops the car. I remember where we were, there was like that those network building stuff. I remember there was that, and where we were, there was just a whole lot of farms. So we got off, and they're like, get out of the car, get out of the car. And I'm like, can I just get my bottle of water because I'm thirsty? They're like, no, leave it. And I said, okay, cool. And we walked. We walked, and I remember they made me walk in front and leave my mom. Obviously, my instinct as a daughter and as a mother is, why is my child leaving me? But these were the thoughts that were going through my mind at that very moment. And we got to these trees, and now it's the 3 of us, and they said, yeah, you guys have do you have what we want? And we said, what do you want? They said, no, we want 100,000. I said, what? I don't even work. And they said, no, we want 100,000. I said, sit down. And I was like, obviously we tried a little bit again to fight them and see that, hey guys, what must happen? But we stopped fighting, and we just sat down, and obviously their knives were out. We had knowledge that the gun was inside the one who punched me, his bag. And eventually they're like, you guys need to figure out how you're going to give us 100,000. And I'm like, how am I supposed to figure that out? Then they're like, okay, where's your phones? I said, at home. Like the whole way we've been telling them the truth. And every truth we told them, they said it's a lie. They said, no, you're lying. I said, then go check in my car. You brought my car here, right? So go check in my car. So they went and they checked in my car. They found no phones at all. And I said, okay, cool, thank you. And they came and they said, okay, so whose phone number do you know? We said, no, we don't know any phone numbers and stuff by head. Because, social media, guys, and this digital platform has made life so easy that we forget to remember people's numbers, So I said, let's call my phone or my mom's phone so that we can get a hold of my sister. And they said, oh, you think you're clever now? You think you're clever? And then they said, lay on your stomachs, both of you. I laid on my stomach, and then that's when they took a branch from the tree. They started cutting it out, and it's one of those really thick ones, those big thick ones. And they just consistently hit me from the back. They hit my legs, they hit my back. They manhandled me in so many ways that I cannot explain. they didn't do anything to mom. The only time, though, the only marks mom has are the marks that were happening from the beginning of the scene. This is now 2 hours later. We're still arguing about the same thing. They find 2 bank cards. They find my card. They find my boyfriend's card. Obviously, I don't know my boyfriend's PIN. It's not something in me to know, your partner's PIN, unless it's important to you, but it's not important to me. Then they asked me my surname, and I told them that, no, I'm Maoko. And they're like, oh, okay, so who's this? And I said, no, that's my boyfriend's card. And then they said, okay, then give us both the PIN codes so that we can take out the money that it's in here, while you guys figure out how you're going to make us 100K. And I said, well, my card only has 250, because that's exactly what it had. It had only 250. And they're like, okay, then give us your boyfriend's PIN. I said, I don't know it. They said, then you're going to have to think about it. And then they brought a knife, I remember, and they pointed it here. And they said, you're going to remember it. Remember that PIN right now. I said, I don't know it. I can give you his birth date and his birthday, but I can't give you his PIN. I don't know. And then they hit me for not knowing his PIN. And I was like, okay, cool. So am I about to die for this fucking nigga? But I was just like, okay, cool. And they left us for quite a while. I remember my mom slept at some stage. She just laid her head down, and she's like, I'm laying my head down, because the guy who punched me had left now, and he said he's going to fetch the other 3 and another group of people, because they saw potentials at the mountain. So they're going to fetch, and he's going to fetch his crew. And we were like, okay, cool. So my mom and I sat there with these other 2 guys that were sitting with us at the back for a good hour to 2 hours. This guy came back with his 3 friends, and my main question was, where are the people that they say they're going to kidnap? Since we kidnapped now we're in hostage, in a field. And that didn't happen. But when the other 3 came, I won't lie to you guys, I was scared. I wanted to cry. Like, I cried at some stage. They're like, you're making a noise. I'm like, how do I not cry in this situation? This is too much to handle. And I remember I held my boobs like this at some stage. And I was rocking like this, and I'm like, my baby Ella, I'm so sorry, mama, for everything that I've done. I'm so sorry, mama, for leaving you so abruptly during the day, and I'm so sorry. All I'm trying to do is I'm trying to fix the spiritual realm. I'm trying to fix our family. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm like, mama, I really love you. And I'm like, if I die, mama, just know that your mom really loved you. That's the prayer I was making the whole time. I'm like, God, just make sure that my baby knows that I really loved her. I really loved her. I've been doing all of this just for her. It's not even about me, it's about her. Life isn't about me anymore, but life is about her now. And I remember I just consistently kept on crying, and I kept on crying and kept on crying. And that's when they were like, you're making too much noise. You're gonna stab your eye. We don't care if you're a parent. We're not parents. We didn't choose to be parents. So just because you're a parent doesn't mean that you need to be making a noise. And they're like, we're gonna stab your eye and we're gonna feed it to you. And my mom is like, please calm down. Like, my mom is the most chilled person in that whole situation. I really don't know how she wasn't shaken. Obviously she was, but mommy was just so cool. And around 6 o'clock, probably 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, because of how the sun looked like, they moved us from there, because they said it's now risky. Cars will be moving around that area a lot now. So people are gonna see that there's movements, somewhere in the bushes. So they took us deeper into the bushes. They moved my car. covered it with trees. And we sat there. Now it's around 6:30, 7. And they said, you're going to make one phone call. And with that one phone call, you better make sure that that person gives us money and makes sure that they give us money. So the next option we had was that we're going to call my mom's phone. Called it the first time, my sister didn't answer. Called my phone, my sister didn't answer. Called my mom's phone the second time, my sister answers. And the story they said to my mom is that she must tell my sister that she dropped off, she bumped actually. She crashed and bumped into a child, approximately 5, 6, and now that family have kept us hostage and they want 100,000. My mom knew that my sister's gonna pick up that this is not the story. This is not the story. This is not happening. And obviously my sister picked it up and now started making phone calls. A lot of people were called. Some of you who are alive right now were called. We were called. My sister started calling and they called her back after 15 minutes. This whole cycle went on for about from 7 o'clock until I think half 10, 11 at night. It's cold. I'm not really dressed warmly. I'm thirsty. All I want to do is drink water. Eventually, they gave me water. The water that was in the car eventually. And funny enough, they brought my shoes. But they didn't want me to wear them. So I don't understand why they brought them. They're calling my sister consistently for 15 minutes. Every 15 minutes, they're just calling her. So you can only imagine the type of trauma she's going through. And my dad pulled through. He sent, because now they said, how are we going to get this money? I said, why don't you just tell them to put the money in my card? Since you guys have my car keys, you have my card, then might as well just put the money in my card. You go withdraw, whatever you guys are going to do, you're going to do that. My dad puts in some money and this ringleader now leaves. Now it's myself, my mom, and there's 6, so it was 4 of them because the ringleader left with one of them. And in that conversation, with the 4 that were left, they just kept on playing with our minds and we kept on playing with their minds. Now, as a spiritual person, now I had to fuck their minds a bit, fuck their minds a bit. They were really fucked. I won't lie to you. They were really fucked a bit. But eventually they were okay. They started telling us where they come from, that some of them come from Limpopo, some of them come from Zim, some of them come from around Joburg, and then they explain that they do these trips and stuff that they do, and they do manage to get 100 and something thousand. I can't second this because when I was busy with my case, the police officer did say that they did manage to get 113,000 from one of the victims. None of the victims have been killed. I'm the 13th case. Some cases, people have been raped. I'm just lucky that I wasn't raped, nor was mom. So going back to the story, it's now 10 o'clock. Around 9:30, they told my sister that if she does not send at least 20,000 by 10 o'clock, they're going to shoot us. Now this is when the knives are coming out and the guns are coming out. They're really shooting anytime, any day. They just need that cue from that guy who was driving my car that, listen, shoot these people, let's take the car, let's go. We'll drop the car somewhere else and let's go. They were waiting for that cue. And in that whole mist, the ringleader came back. He came back and And he said, "No, we're not going to kill these people. These people really don't have money." You know, they were just like, these people really don't have money. And I was like, okay, cool. And sorry guys, my baby. And these people were really like, these people don't have money, you know. And I was like, yeah, we don't. Like, we've been telling you, not that we don't know people that don't have money, but their technique was just so stupid, honestly speaking. And what makes me angry right now is that throughout that whole duration of being in hostage and kidnapped, I kept on saying, "I'm sorry, my brother. Please apologize. I apologize for mistreating you. I'm sorry, my brother." That time my face is pumping. My face is pumping. I can literally feel that my freaking face is pumping. And two of them looked very familiar. You know, it's like those people, when you go to Groove and Koni Kotani Lapo and stuff. Those two looked so familiar. Like, man, these ones are, man. These ones, you can have seen them at Groove somewhere, somehow. And those are the only two that covered their faces. And I was like, something's fishy here. Something's fishy here. And they kept on saying, "No, we don't live here. We don't live around here." And I'm like, nah, these ones live around here. These ones live just around here. And I remember they advised me and my mom, which was shocking, that you kidnap us and then you still have time to advise. Okay, cool. They advised us not to go back to those mountains, not to heal people. Not to heal people. We should just sit down and chill and whatsoever. And around now it was 11, because I remember they gave me a phone. Now thing is, I can't even call 10 111 because if I do, they're gonna shoot me. These people have weapons. I don't. I was tempted at some stage, I won't lie to you, but I could not do such moves. And they took us, and they gave me my shoes that they took. They gave me my shoes. I wore them. One of them held my hand back to the car. Two of them held my mom back to the car, which was very weird. Very, very weird. For people who just a few minutes ago wanted to kill us, now they're helping us. It was too weird. Get into the car. Now, in my small car, which is a Datsun Go, it fitted 8 people. 8 people. We sat there. 6 at... Wait. It was 3 in front. Yeah. And my mom and because I was sitting on top of my mom. And I think there was 3. So 5 at the back and 3 in front. And they drove off. And they said, "You guys are going to drop us off where our transport is going to get us." And I looked at them and I said, "Oh, okay." And obviously I'm crying. I remember holding my mom's hand and I was just praying in my heart on some, God really loves us that we're alive. God really loves us that these people might just give us back our cars. I won't lie, somewhere I thought that they were just going to shoot us at some stage. I thought they were going to shoot us or something. And we got to Lenasia South now. Lenasia South, where there's like a garage. And it was close to the Grasmere highway that we usually use to travel. If you're going to trade routes or Soweto or whatever the case may be. They got off there on a gravel road. On a gravel road, they got off there and they said, "Lindo, come in front. Come take the wheel." Bear in mind, I only have one eye open because the other eye is now shut. I can't see. And mom can't really see at night. So I had no choice. Literally, I had no choice but to just take the wheel and drive. I drove off, went to the police station, got at the police station, and I remember walking in and this police officer looking at me and I'm like, "We here." She's like, "Yeah, and so?" I'm like, "Wait, hold up. What do you mean and so? I'm here, I've got a blue eye. I've got a blue eye, Ntumbile. What do you mean and so? I'm like, no. Where's my sister? They're like, oh, you mean that one? I'm like, yeah, that one. Where's my sister? Then they directed me. I went to my sister, and we were there. We were there. We were talking, and now I'm explaining the story and everything that's been happening. My sister really came as a help. She really played a big part in this whole fiasco. She played a really big part in this whole fiasco. Just, talking to these people and keeping her cool, knowing very well that your mom and your sister are kidnapped. You don't even know where they are. And I remember my sister saying, something in me told me that you were not in Soweto, because they said we bumped a child in Soweto. That's the statement that was written, that came from my sister. But then obviously yesterday we wrote the right statement that no, we were kidnapped. Obviously, fingerprints were taken by the police. So far, an update. My mom and I have given our statement. So has my dad, as the person who put in the money into the account, and my sister, obviously, during the kidnapping, while the kidnapping was happening, the statement was being taken. And now, unfortunately for me, I'm going to have to go replay this whole fiasco for the police. I am scared. I am scared because I'm on social media right now. I'm talking, and you never know. You never know on social media. You just never know. Uguthi uchomi yalaba fana laba is watching, and they're like, "Hey boy, listen." You never know. But my aim is my main aim is just to make noise. My main aim is just to save another victim, because this happens every week. No victim has been killed so far, but people are losing money every week. And these guys tell us that, listen, we just want 100K. How you get that 100K doesn't matter. Those people are going to work that money back. Those people just need to save your lives. Those people are going to make that money back. Because if they don't, we don't know what we're going to do to you guys. So it's a risk, honestly, for me to be alive right now, because I don't know who's watching and who's connected to these guys around that area. But I am willing to just make sure that these guys are down. Yeah, these guys are down. Yeah, that's basically the end of my story. I can answer questions if you guys have questions or anything, but yeah, I'm strong. I'm alive. Yeah, there's I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. I can thank God. Right now, actually, as I'm talking to you, I've lit a candle. And as I was lighting it, I was like, I'm so grateful that I'm lighting it alive and it's not a candle being lit dead, as a rest in peace candle and a candle of peace. At least it's not that. At least it's not that. It's not. I didn't die for nothing. A piece of me died. A piece of me died. It really did. But that spiritual person in me didn't die. We're still fighting. We're still soldiering on. We're still soldiering on. Still pushing. Now I'm on Facebook, praying for your healing. We're about this. This happened around Loli. So when in the south. So Loli is in the south. And these shacks around Loli 2. I'm not sure if it's Loli 2 or Loli 1, but around those places. But there's mountains as you drive past it. There's mountains and there's water. So what most healers do is that they take people to go get washed in the water, baptisms and stuff, get baptized there, and there's always praying in the mountain, as a spiritual person. Pastors do this, sangomas do this, whatever you want to call it, whatever path you take as a person. These are the things that happen consistently, and these are the places where people go consistently, and these people are targeting healers specifically because they're doing these things in the field consistently. So this happened in Lowly Side, Lowly Side, which is also around Enidale. I live in Enidale, so it's just close by there. So thankful that you're alive. I'm sorry for what you went through. It's okay, love. It's really okay. I'm gonna soldier on. I'm gonna move on. There's nothing really I can do. I just need to move on. I need to move on. I need to live and thank God for life. That's all. My mom is doing well. Zelega. My mom is really doing well. We're just holding on. It's not easy. It really isn't. It's not easy. Watching your money on its own disappear in a second. It's a fuckery, honestly. But yeah, we're just soldiering on. Are there any more questions? Guys, I'm only asking this because now I'm starting to have a young panic attack about talking about the story. I still haven't, it hasn't synced in properly yet, but yeah, I'm moving on. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. I can take just one more question, two more questions, and then I'll close it. But honestly, I'd like it if you guys can just make noise for me, with me. I can't take this bag alone and carry this bag alone. It's quite heavy. This bag is quite heavy. But I believe that the system can bring justice somehow, somewhere. Although 90% I'm just like, fuck this. This is not happening. But I need South African community, because I honestly question myself what type of people we raising, what type of kids we raising, how we talking to our brothers and sisters. What are we doing? I really question those things, because if a brother can really punch you in the face without fighting him, then I really question. I have questions. I really do. I'm scared for my daughter, her generation. They're already in this. They're already on some, I want to carry a gun, I want to carry a knife. So, guys, I really don't know. I really don't know. So, I'd like us to just make some noise and push. It's a pleasure, Spay. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. There's nothing more I can do. I'm just sharing the story, not because I have to. It's not because I have to share the story. I'm sharing it because I want to. And I want to tell people who have survived this that, hey, I've also survived this. And possibly we can do something about this. Unfortunately, organizations are not standing for us. Organizations only stand for you when you're dead, which pisses me off. I remember 3 years ago I said, the only time your blood and your soul talks to you, it's when you are dead and no one can do anything about it. But while you're still alive and you've got this to prove, then people don't want to say anything. People want to keep quiet. All of a sudden, organizations that stands for gender-based violence are quiet. They're silent. Doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't. It makes, right now as I'm talking, I can bet you someone is being kidnapped, someone is held hostage, someone is being punched, someone is being stabbed, someone is being shot. But no one is saying anything. And when they survive and they scream out in social media, people are quiet. It really shakes me. It really questions. I question how we grooming our community as people. Honestly, it really does. I really hope that South Africa can be better. I pray for South Africa. I pray for the country. I pray for Africa as a whole. That people can come into another country and come steal like an enemy. It's painful. It's painful. People can come and steal. It's painful. Take, self-esteem. I realize that my self-esteem has been lowered a bit. It's sad. We're fighting each other as human beings. Doesn't make sense to me. But we soldier on. Thank you guys for everything. Thank you so much. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for listening to my story. It's not easy for me to look at myself and looking at these comments. In the state I am, I really miss my face. I miss my face. I really do. But I'm going to heal. I'm going to be okay. And once I'm healed, I'll show you guys that I'm healed. My bruises are getting better. I'm healing. I'm healing. And that's what's important for me and to me. And may God bless you all. And may God protect you from all evil. May God protect you from all temptations that may come your way. And try and be with you. May God protect you and your family and your children and your children's children and the generations to come. May the sins of the world not be with your children, and may you really be blessed and protected by whatever path you walk and whatever you do. Just be protected by God's anointing and God's anointing only. Amen. Thank you for watching, guys. I really appreciate it.